Hey there, everybody. Coach Kelly here from Zen Planner, the best platform to grow your fitness business. And I'm so excited for this week's content. We are bringing you our customer spotlight series. And I spoke with Colby from Oxnard Movement out in California, and he brings a bunch of really awesome nuggets on how to utilize the Zen Planner software, how to grow member engagement, how to use two-way text and email to communicate with his members, and so much more. We are going to be bringing you all kinds of content on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So make sure you log in, subscribe, check it out. We're here all week long with Colby. I feel like the reporting conversation is something that happens months, or it should happen inside of months, but probably more like double-digit months down the road for gym owners, because you're just too consumed with like getting people in your door. So like there
Yeah.
isn't a focus on the data that's coming in. How do you use the data, and then what do you do with it to turn it around for you?
Yeah. Um, the and I think you're correct in saying that, like, when you're first getting started, like, the reports are more or less like useless for you. You're like, hey, I just need some more people in the doors. I'm coaching all of the hours. I'm putting in
Right.
all the work. Like, let's not worry about it. But once you're starting to get some staff under your belt, maybe like an admin position, the biggest kind of reports that I'm doing are on a monthly basis, and I do like lead management. So I also work with Two Brain Business, so I'm
Yeah.
mentee with them as well. So
Yeah.
they actually ask for a lot of reporting, which is really good. And that helps us find out how many leads we had every month, how many did we set, how many did we close,
Mm-hmm.
what is our monthly numbers for recurring memberships, for paying members versus like a staff member who attends a class is
Yeah.
not paying for a class versus somebody
Yeah.
who is paying for a class. So most of my reporting happens once a month, and it's
Okay.
previous month's numbers. But there's also a lot of reporting that's done on a weekly basis, which things like we pull a report on how many who has not been here for the last 2 to 4 weeks, who
Yeah.
hasn't been here for the last 4+ weeks, and who hasn't been here for the last 8+ weeks.
Yeah.
And those are reports that are pulled every single week. And then they have a standard procedure of like, hey, what happens if
Right.
somebody's in one of these reports? And then other reports are like birthdays. Birthdays are pulled once a month because we send messages and mail to all of our members on
Okay.
birthdays. And then attendance reports are also done on a monthly basis as well, differentiating between our 12 times a month and unlimited. And we take a actual attendance report and say, hey, everybody who's on a 12 times a month, how many times did all of them come? And we do I filter it on if you came less than 6 times, if you came less than 8 times, if you came all 12 times.
Gotcha.
We have just a good idea of like who's actually showing up and who isn't showing up. We do have two kind of loyalty programs that we use right now, and they're
Mhm.
both out of the studio system.
Okay.
And they're both the reports.
Yep.
It's attendance and it's membership length.
Okay.
Um, and so we give out rewards at 50 classes, 100 classes, 250 classes, 500 classes, and 1,000 classes.
Does it automatically let you know that somebody has hit 50 classes, or
Yep. The studio already has
that's
that feature
built in?
that they'll, as soon as somebody clicks at 1,000 classes, which is why it would be really, really good to get that data to click over to the engagement platform
Engagement.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I have ourselves CC'd on that email. So that email goes out to an athlete and it goes out to me when that
Very
happens.
cool.
And
So
then,
what do you do to, like, what kind of language are you using with your customers in regards to that loyalty program? Like,
yeah,
how do they know?
they, on 50 classes, we call it sweat equity on a mug. They earn a mug. And then at 100 classes, they become a Century member.
I love it.
At 250 classes, they become an Icon member. And then at 500, they become a Legend. And at 1,000 classes, they become a Kilo member.
Do you have 1,000 class people?
We are coming up close on a couple of 1,000 class people.
That is so awesome.
Yes. And we definitely have people that have attended more than 1,000 classes, but we've only been tracking attendances
Right.
since 2018.
Right.
So if we were tracking attendances for longer than that, I'm sure that we would be at that number already. My ideal client comes somewhere between 2 and 4 times a week. At 2 or 3 times a week, you're on a 12 times a month membership. I also want you engaging in our other community activities, our events, our seminars, our clinics. But if you're not attending 5 days a week, and I don't think that everybody should be attending 5 days a week,
Right.
then they're not on an unlimited membership. One of the things that we do to help incentivize somebody for an unlimited membership is we offer some like specialty classes that might not be a CrossFit class.
Gotcha.
And we do a gymnastics class and a mobility class a couple of times a week.
Okay.
That somebody's like, hey, I already done my CrossFit, but I want to come to a gymnastics class, or
Yeah.
I want to come to a mobility class.
Yeah.
And that it's easy for someone to say it's worth the extra $30 for me to be able to come to these versus
Yeah,
me
definitely.
going to a yoga class once a week for $25.
I feel like if you have a setting of 20 people in your facility and you're running a true CrossFit class or anything with barbell, especially barbell, and you get, the type of person in the class, and they're not always the same. Like I've got older people, I've got younger people, but ultimately, like, if you have no experience in that type of environment, no matter how wonderful the community is, and it can be the best community, that community is not going to sell a membership. They're not, I feel like they're never going to come back because they're scared. And it's just a lot. So having a niche market seniors program for me for a long time was a way to integrate that age group into a general population class because they can live there, they can be there.
Yeah.
They just needed to start over here first.
Yep. And that's exactly how I'm approaching this. It is a step down from a CrossFit class where intensity is a lot lower. The focus is on learning.
Yeah.
And then I've said, hey, once we hit X amount of classes during these free sessions, I'll allow you to engage in a group class membership if that's what you would like to do.
Yeah.
So it's because it's not like that they can't do it inside, but they would definitely not do it, right off the bat. They wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't be a good experience. We have an onboarding for all of our other members as well.
Absolutely.
So we've got quite a few nurses. And I'm just inspired by that profession. We have some nurses that they work 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And they'll come in at 5 o'clock in the morning for a 5 a.m. class
after they worked at night or before they go out in the morning.
So both of those, we've got night nurses and day nurses come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, finish at 6, take like a bird bath shower and go do a 12-hour shift from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And they're walking around like 17,000 steps a day too.
And so I was like, man, it would be awesome to be able to do something for that sort of community. It's not access to all of our classes, but it's a free thing for that group. And we've got quite a few hospitals in the area. Yeah. And the idea is to hopefully bring some new faces into the gym. The biggest thing that I get with any kind of like leads or a program like this that I'm starting is somebody's so terrified of starting. So if I can lower a barrier to entry somehow, it's going to be helpful. The biggest piece that was between the UpLaunch and Zen Planner was being able to do communication records. So having inside a contact's profile, the text messages and phone calls, nailing that system down, like, hey, how do I make a new contact? How do I see information on their profile? How do I record information on their profile? And then how do I make like how do I see their conversation? The
Yeah.
conversation view in the engagement tool
Yep.
is actually like really robust. I think there's a lot of stuff on there. So
Yeah.
you can see text messages, phone calls,
Oh,
emails, voicemails, all in the conversation view. So that
yeah.
was my like first priority before even looking at anything else. I was like, I need to be able to communicate with my members
Right.
with this new platform. That was my very first thing.
Yeah.
Following that, it was workflows, and workflows are more or less like our emails that get sent out,
Yeah.
that for either like lead capture or for our current membership stuff that's like value add for our current members,
Yeah.
and then stuff that's like explaining who we are for new clients and leads.
Do you have like your top two best practices, like, or pieces of advice for somebody new who's like, man, I don't want to work 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. anymore, and this is hard, and when are people going to come into my door?
Yeah, I would say the some of the best pieces of advice is, as hard as it sounds, like hire a mentor, hire a coach. Um,
Invest in yourself
they
and invest in your business.
they like when you are inside your business, it's really hard to step out and look at it from an outside perspective and say, hey, this is what I need to do next, then I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what like a mentor or a coach does.
Yeah.
They're the ones that step out and say, hey, this is what you need to execute next. And that way you're not spending any thinking power trying to
Right.
figure it out. You're just
Right.
saying, and that, like, most of us as business owners, that's what we're really good at. We're like, we're here to grind, we're here to
Right.
do the work. But if we don't have the right direction, the work sometimes can be put into
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
And so definitely needing to have somebody like give us some sort of direction makes a massive, massive difference. And
Yeah.
then my other like piece of advice is build your team. Like you want some really great coaches on your side. In my opinion, it's really difficult to, if not impossible, to survive long term if it's just you.